Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Atlantic Fleet. This is the second episode of the series, and we're going to dive straight into the next single battle. Right, so we did in the first episode Sinking Courageous. We are now going to jump straight into the second one, which is called Action off Haysborough Sands. On the 7th of December 1939, after a successful mine-laying operation, 2 German destroyers turned toward home and encountered a Royal Navy patrol. The historical outcome was the Jersey suffered heavy damage. So this is where we're going to be fighting the 2 German destroyers. Let's see what forces we have. So, like I say, 7th of December 1939, the Allied forces comprise of 2 destroyers, the Juno and the Jersey, and the Germans have the Z10 and the Z12. I would try and pronounce their names, but I'm only going to butcher that, so we're just going to stick with the original numbers here. So once again, we are fighting as the Royal Navy. The computer has taken over the German Navy, and let's go straight into the fight. Now this is a night operation, so things are a little bit different, especially from the last match where we was just fighting a U-boat. These destroyers are fairly well armed and pretty much the same on the German side, if I'm honest. I think we have twin guns more than they do. They have single guns, but we have a forward set here, set over here, and we have a set on the aft section. So once again, we have to maneuver and fire. So let's look at the map. Obviously we're literally just running in this direction, and so are the Germans. So let's go back and close a little bit of range and run her up the flank. And here comes the fun part, trying to hit a destroyer. It's a very, very small ship. But they're telling us now that the elevation needed is 23.4, which we will put in. Now, we have our own crew telling us this. Yeah, about that. Right, anyway, our crew are telling us 23.4 degrees will give us the elevation they suspect to hit the German destroyer over here. Now, if this hits, it'll be a miracle. However, if it doesn't, the crew, as long as I keep targeting this main ship here, the crew will get better at predicting where the German destroyer is. Now obviously, things like range, things like what shells I'm firing, the spread of the shells, because there's going to be 6 shells firing, remember, 4 up front and 2 up the aft, from the aft even I should say. So yeah, let's see where these shells land. And we're going to switch to high explosive. There's no real point firing armor piercing at a destroyer. So a little bit further on from the destroyer. We'll try and zigzag our destroyers as well. Make them a harder target to shoot at. Well, that's the plan anyway. So on the Jersey, I'm targeting the 2nd German destroyer over here, and they're saying the elevation needs to be 20.8. So set for 20, about there. And let's see, switching to high explosive, and see what happens. Very close, only a slight bit of dialing in there. Germans getting quite close there on the Z10. Looks like the Germans are concentrating their fire on our 1st destroyer. So we're going to swing around to starboard a bit here. It's still running at flank speed, so we can open up a bit of distance. So now it's saying 16.8. So we redial. Now we know that we was a little bit far from the from our target, so we'll fire at this. And very, very short. This will get better, our solution will get better as the combat goes on. Obviously, if we keep zigzagging, that will throw off our rangefinders. Four hits to the Z12 there, so that's put some decent damage onto her. And what the Germans have fired there is a star shell that's illuminated the whole area. And the Z12 is trying to turn away and firing only from her aft section. So now our destroyer Juno is well and truly lit up. You just see the star shell up there. So we're going to have to be very careful now because the fire may come in a little bit more accurately. Saying 18.7. Just from our forward guns firing there. 2 hits to the first German destroyer. Let's see if we can deal out some more damage to the second German destroyer. So it's saying 26 on the dot. Just a little bit out of position there. Well, that's a severe explosion on our destroyer. We might have to concentrate our fire on the first destroyer here. Check what damage we suffered. Okay, even though it was an explosion, it's near our... There you go, the fire's just been put out, so nothing really to worry about there. Good solid hits there to the first German destroyer. The Jersey is now moving into position. We'll give it another salvo at the second destroyer and then we'll see what happens. We may end up having to concentrate our fire on one destroyer. Very close to hitting the second destroyer there. Again, another crippling explosion on our first destroyer. See what damage this has caused. Okay, our sonar has put quite a bit of damage on our sonar and our AAA fire, which is not really that much of a problem. We ain't got any anti-aircraft to worry about, or any aircraft I should say to worry about. So we're gonna drastically change course because the Germans are starting to get a very accurate fire. If we could just land a few more solid hits. We are going to swing and concentrate our fire on the first German destroyer here. That's good. 1, maybe 2 hits there on the Z10. Germans still concentrating their fire on our first destroyer. It's just getting the ranges right to fire on this first destroyer, because at the moment we need to knock out one of these destroyers. Single hit there. can see just how much that German destroyer is really listing now. A good couple more hits and we will sink her. So it's saying 14.3 degrees of elevation. So that's somewhere about there, roughly speaking. Just so close. Any closer than that is scratching the paintwork. And the Z10 has been sunk. 2 more, I do believe, confirmed hits there. Germans now in real trouble. The Z12 damaged. Guns all still working, but she still can't quite get the range on one of our destroyers here. But now she's fighting a 2-on-1 fight. So we're going to start swinging our destroyers around because the German destroyer there is heading off in completely the opposite direction. Probably trying to open up the range a little bit. So now we have to redirect our fire. So it's saying 25.3. So let's see where these shells land. Still firing high explosives. So they're miles away from her. Fire a little bit less than that. Don't believe that solution was correct. Bit closer. And the 2 forward guns there, forward guns I should say, firing. So we're going to just carry on going straight. Just open it out a little bit, just to make sure that all our guns are firing. Moment, only the Germans' forward guns are actually firing. Elevation set for 22 degrees on the nose. We'll put it 22 degrees on the nose and see where they go. A little bit short. Heavy explosion there on a Z12. Definitely listing. Still able to deliver 1 shell to one of our destroyers. But so far on the damage front, it's just the anti-aircraft artillery that's slightly damaged with. There's no real problem for us there. So it's saying 15.9. All our guns are going to open fire. So close. Any closer. Just any little bit closer. So 25.2. We're going to open that a little bit more. And it's miles off, absolutely miles off. The Z12 is furiously manoeuvring. I'm going to try and keep the course nice and straight now, see if I can get our rangefinders to actually work properly. One hit. Over to the superstructure there, maybe. Just check we're not going to run into each other. That's a good idea. Getting closer. Another massive explosion across the centre, and she's just sunk. So, that was the second mission of Atlantic Fleet. Sounds of a German destroyer heading to the bottom. Obviously the fire got to the magazines maybe, and yeah, she's going down. So, let's have a look what damage we've done. Right, so the Juno suffered medium damage, Jersey suffered no damage whatsoever. Historically, remember the Jersey suffered heavy damage in the historical fight that actually happened. So yeah, so we survived with both ships, and the Jersey survived with no damage whatsoever. The Z10 and Z12 were both sunk. So, that was the second episode of Atlantic Fleet. Again, I will be coming back to this and going straight into the third fight, which is going to be a real humdinger because it's actually based off one of the greatest naval films that I've ever seen. So, I'll leave you guys to think about that. If you enjoyed this video, please tell me. If you have any suggestions about how I can make this any better, please let me know. And I will see you again on the high seas of Atlantic Fleet.